Hello and welcome back to my channel. I haven't actually filmed a video in quite some time, but today's video is going to be a Homesense slash Tkmaxx haul, which I'm very excited about. This will be the first one of 2019. I did do a Halloween haul that I've just uploaded, but that was for like when I went on holiday to America and things. So this is a UK Homesense Tkmaxx haul. So basically for the past 2 weeks I've been on a holiday to Florida, and whilst I was away like the last week, the UK Tkmaxx and Homesense started to release their Halloween range. Usually they release it around now, so days like the 22nd of August, and I think last year I made my first Halloween purchase around the 20th of August. So they definitely started to release their Halloween collection towards more of the beginning of August. So I did kind of miss when the first things started to come out. So it's been 2 days since I've got back, and today I did go to Homesense because I couldn't resist seeing all the photos on the UK Halloween Watch group. I will leave a link down to that in the description if you are from the UK and you love Halloween. So whilst I was on holiday, I was kind of bombarded with photos and everything, and I couldn't wait to like go to Homesense even though I was enjoying my holiday. So I did go today. I've literally just got back, and I did pick up 5 items from Homesense. 2 of them are snow globes and 3 of them are kind of more decorational items. If you like these types of videos, please consider subscribing, and I will get into the haul now. The first one I'm going to start with is a snow globe, and this was the main item that I kind of wanted this year. I did see a lot of people buy this, and I think someone posted photos from the Basingstoke Tkmaxx, and I saw there was one of these, and I was really hoping that it would still be there when I got back, or at least like they had more, because I know sometimes Tkmaxx, they only release a certain amount of one item, and then once they sell out of it they don't get it back in that store. So luckily I did manage to find this one. To be honest, I mainly picked it because of the base. I really like the haunted house scene. Obviously I like the ghosts inside as well, but compared to the other snow globes I have, it's fairly empty inside apart from the ghosts. So I mean, I do like them. It's just, it's not as busy of a snow globe as I usually get. Last year I got 2 snow globes, and the year before I got 2 snow globes, I think. Yeah, so I try and limit myself to 2 each year because I don't have that much space now in my room, and I do like to keep things kind of tidy. So I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put this yet. I might end up selling a few things to make room. If I do, I'll put them on Depop probably, and my link to my Depop shop is always in the description. So I will let you know if I do plan on selling anything. Not the new stuff I've bought, just kind of older decorations that I don't love as much as the new ones I have. But yeah, this is a pretty big snow globe. The ones I usually get are on stands, but this is kind of more of like a heavy base rather than on like a fancy stand. As you can see, it does have this really nice haunted house, and I really liked the fact that the house was purple. I thought that was really cool and different. And there are lots of details like windows, there's a ghost here, there's a gate, and it does just kind of continue all the way around. From this window you can kind of see in it, which made me think maybe it lit up, but it doesn't. It just, I think it's just kind of hollow. And then the snow globe sits on top of it, and it does have the 3 ghosts inside there with different faces. I definitely like the one with the fangs the most, and one's holding this little bannery thing that says boo. And as I said, it is kind of plain. It's just kind of a white base inside there, and it does have black confetti inside, which you can hopefully see. In previous years the snow globes have always had black confetti in. I think 3 out of the 4 of mine do. This one would have, in my opinion, been cuter with black confetti, but I don't mind too much. Usually they just sit on my desk. I don't really shake them anyway. But yeah, I was really happy to find this one. It was £12.99 on the sticker there, which I felt like it was a good price for this one. I know in the past they've had snow globes from, I think £12.99 is the cheaper side of the snow globes, and they can go up to £15.99. I think that's roughly the price. So this one is £12.99, which is a good price. It does have, I mean, it's very, very heavy. I was concerned that this was gonna break a bit because it was kind of pulling my bag down and I didn't want the bag to snap. But luckily when I went to pay for all the items, I did ask if I could have them bubble wrapped. I've heard some people have had problems asking to have things bubble wrapped, like the staff haven't been too good, but the one that I went to, they were like super nice about it. I think they spent about 10 minutes properly wrapping everything, which I appreciate. So yeah, I managed to get it back in one piece. I wouldn't recommend ordering these online, to be honest, because I have seen some really horrible photos of things coming smashed, and these are just way too fragile. Like, I'm even scared about holding it up. So they are very delicate, and it is obviously a glass snow globe. So it does say on here, it says it is a glass globe and it is breakable, and just not to put it in sunlight and stuff. So yeah, that's the first item that I got. And I was planning on just getting this snow globe, but then I saw another one, and again, it's the base that drew me in rather than what's actually inside it. And I will show you that one next. So this is the one I'm talking about. When I saw the stripes, I was just like, oh my gosh. It's just such a pretty design. I do like the skeleton couple. I do think it's cute, and I like how the red roses match the red down here and everything. So I do think it goes together really well, but mainly it was this really nice stripy fancy base that drew me into it. Again, this one was £12.99. So it's the same price as the other one. It's kind of the same size, I'd say. This one has like a bigger base than this one, if you can see. But in terms of like the snow globe, they're the same size. This one, please music. I'll just wait till that finishes. Some of them, I'm not sure if they light up, but I think half of them play music, half of them don't. The haunted house one doesn't. This one does, and it sings The Wicked Witch is Dead, if that's the name of the song, I'm not sure. But it does play that. Honestly, I'm not fussed whether they play a song or not. As I've said, I just kind of sit them somewhere and have them for the aesthetic, rather than to use them as like a snow globe and play music and stuff. I'm not too bothered about that, but it does. This one in particular does have the music. As I've mentioned, the base is stripy. It kind of has like a stand with like a tablecloth kind of thing going on. I'm not too sure, but it does look super fancy, and it does have this kind of grey, almost lacy look at the bottom, and then it does have these red kind of jewel effects with bows here. And as I said, the red really goes nicely with the roses that the couple are holding. So she's holding like a bouquet of them and he's just got one. And they do look very cute together. So she's obviously in a black dress and he's wearing a top hat. Inside it is fairly plain again. Her dress kind of takes up half of it. I think if this had a different base, maybe like just plain black, or it was on a table, I don't think I would have picked this. It was mainly the stripes that I just loved. I did pick up this one, and hopefully this will be my last snow globe of this year. As I've said, I don't have too much room now. I have two on my desk, one on my table down there, and one on my bookcase. But I am kind of running out of room now because I just have my bedroom to decorate. So yeah, I think this will be my last snow globe, hopefully. The third one I've seen in photos before, and I didn't think I'd ever get it. One, because it's quite big, and as I've said, I don't have too much room. The second reason is it kind of has a vintage look to it, and it's this one. it won't all fit in. So it's basically this happy looking pumpkin on a stand with this really cool witch hat, and for the weight of this and like the size, I expected this to be around 15-20 pounds ish. Considering the other pumpkin stack a bit bigger than this is 25, I believe, and when I checked the price tag it said £5.99 just there. So I'm not sure if they put the wrong price on this, because I think £5.99 for this is a bit insane. I think I would have paid maybe 10, but I did mainly pick this one up because it's such like a huge item for £5.99, and I haven't actually picked up a pumpkin item yet, so I did pick up this one. Let me know if you've got this, whether yours was the same price, because I am kind of intrigued. But basically it has this stand, kind of like a candle holder type of stand. It's fairly basic, it's just plain black, and on the base of it, it does have batteries. It does have a space for batteries, so you can put your own ones in, and the pumpkin does light up. It was left as on. I know sometimes they have like a pull thing, but I think for this one you do have to put in your own batteries, which I don't think I have at the moment. So if I find some, then I will put a video of what this looks like on Instagram if you're wondering. But yeah, so then it goes up into this pumpkin face, and I did like that this was more of a classic pumpkin face rather than a vintage looking one, because I'm not too fussed on the vintage looking pumpkin items. I know some people are like really into it, but I prefer kind of the more gothic or classic pumpkin kind of look. He does just have kind of a cheeky face with these like teeth and a square nose, and then these kind of overly shaped eyes. And then I did like how this pumpkin looked, like the different stripes of orange. So there's this lighter kind of yellowy orange, and then these stripes of darker orange. So I did really like the effect of that. And then I really loved this hat. I didn't notice it at first, but it does actually have obviously like stars cut out of it, but there are also bats cut out as well, which I felt gave it a nice effect. And then it does have a orange kind of band around it with a buckle, and it is just kind of a standard witch hat with a point at the end. So yeah, I think overall I really liked the effect of this. I'm not sure how I'm going to put it again. I was kind of thinking in the corner, but I have a broomstick with kind of this sign that I really like, so maybe I'll put it by my bookcase. I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure I will find a place for it. I just couldn't believe for the price of it, because it does feel like such a good quality. That is the third item I picked up, and the last two items I was only actually going to pick one out of. I put them like side by side on the shelf and was probably stood there for a good 5 minutes trying to decide which one I would pick. And there were like a few other people there, and there was one lady and she was like, "Are you having a hard time deciding?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then she was like, "Oh, you should pick both." And I was like, no, she shouldn't have said that. But I did end up going for both in the end. And actually thinking about it now, like I'm most excited for these two items, and they're not actually Halloween-y, they're kind of more spooky. But they are two of the plant items that they've released at Homesense. And the first one is this kind of mini Audrey 2, which I just love. I have done a haul previously where I've bought like the Audrey 2 pin and like this pouch bag thing from Dolly. I will leave it in the eye, wherever that is, and in the description below. So I have bought like Little Shop of Horror things before, and I really love the idea of having a mini Audrey 2. I just think that's adorable. They do also have a huge one for £40, but I'd have no room for that, and I'm not too keen on spending £40 on like a big plant. So I decided to go for the smaller one, which made more sense. And I kind of like how the head's kind of in the plant, whereas the other one's kind of out of it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I did pick up this one, And this one again costs £12.99, so the same price as the snow globes. Again, which I feel is a good price. I feel like they do price their things quite well. I really like all the paint choices they've used, and it does kind of give it a realistic effect, which I really like. And again, it feels quite heavy. It probably would be quite fragile, especially these kind of vine things coming off of it. So I would recommend trying to get this in the shop rather than ordering online, just similar to the snow globes. Obviously there's the pot at the bottom, and there is this eye, which I'm not too sure why there's an eye in the plant, but there is. And it is a blue eye, and then the pot, as I said, has been painted really realistically with all these cracks in it. And that just kind of continues all round, and it is kind of more of a orangey brown. It goes onto the leaves and all the vines. Again, there's like so much detail in all of this, because they've used like different types of green and like yellow. I just think the overall effect of this is really nice. And then the actual like head of Audrey is a blue colour. I wasn't too sure about this colour at first, but I think it pulls it all together, and I think if it was green maybe it wouldn't have stood out as much like against the vines. So I am actually quite happy with the colour choice that they used. And then it goes on to the mouth of it with the teeth. So there is like red around here and then pink on the gums. And I just love like the way it's sat in the pot, if that makes sense. I just think it's really cool. And I did actually know I'm going to put this, because I've got like a windowsill of plants, if you haven't seen my room tour. And in the corner I've got a clock, but it doesn't really fit in. And then on the other side I've got like a pumpkin wax burner, but as it gets into autumn I will move that kind of onto my desk. So I'm thinking of sitting this in the corner with my real plants, so I think that would look quite cool. I am really happy that I managed to get a mini Audrey too. I think this is probably the item I'm most excited for. So there is this one, and the last item in this haul is the Venus Flytrap looking plant. And I think the thing that really made me buy this one is it sounds a bit weird, but I really liked the stand it was in. It just looks like super like Gothic and Victorian, and I liked how the black parts of the mouth matched it, and the colours work so well with it. I just loved the overall effect. The only bit I'm not too keen on is this like blue glitter around the leaves, but honestly when it's sat on like a surface you don't see too much of it. This again was £12.99, so same price as the Audrey 2 decoration and the snow globes. So this one, as I said, sits in this really nice ornate looking pot, and it was actually placed with all the more Gothic things, so I think it was created like this on purpose, to try and fit in with the Gothic stuff rather than the plant things, if that makes sense. And then it does have this fake kind of moss, and then out of the moss it does have obviously the plant stem, and this is actually made of a green velvet, which I didn't realise, and I think again that has like a really nice effect to it. The leaves, I've just realised you can bend, so they have like a piece of wire at the back, so you can actually bend them to make the horrible blue glitter go away. I'm not too into glitter, and this kind of does come off on your fingers when you touch it, so I'm not too keen about that. There's nothing I can do about that. And then the actual plant itself, I think it's made of like it kind of feels like polystyrene, but a bit like better. It's kind of like a paper mache polystyrene. I'm not too sure. I think I don't know, it definitely feels like that, but I could be wrong. It has these kind of felty velvet pink leaves around each one, and then that's the head of the plant with these really kind of creepy looking fang teeth. And I really like this kind of paint that they've done, so it's like a light pink with black kind of sponge effect. I'm not sure how to describe that, but I really do like how this looks, and I feel like with the black around here, as I said, and the black on here, it really goes well with the pot that it's in. If it was in a different pot, maybe I wouldn't have bought it, but I do really like the plants. I think they're really fun. And again, as I said, I am putting this on my windowsill where that clock is, and if it stood there, the plants will like hang over my real plants, so I feel like that would look really good. So I am really excited about this one. The rest of the items that I've just shown you, there was only one of, so I was really lucky to get those, because as I said, I'm not sure if they get them back in stock or not. This one, there were 3 or 4 others, so I'm not sure if they released this last year and there's more of these, but in the end I was really happy to pick this one up as well. I think this could have possibly been left, but I couldn't do it. I needed it. That's everything in my first Homesense / Tkmaxx haul. I bought a Halloween pillow cushion kind of thing. It was released last year, and it's the Halloween map cushion that everyone went like crazy about. I was kind of desperate to find it this year because I really wanted it last year, and I went to different Homesenses and none of them had it. So a really nice lady contacted me. I will do another video explaining, but she bought like a few of them and I managed to buy one off of her. So that will probably be coming in my next Homesense haul, because I'm sure there will be more. But I think she shipped it yesterday, so obviously I don't have it today. But I'm very excited to finally get that because I feel like it will finish off my bed. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did enjoy it. As I said, comment down below about the price of this pumpkin guy and which your favourite item was in this haul and what you've been picking up from Tkmaxx or Homesense. As I said at the beginning, please consider subscribing, and I'll also leave my Instagram down below. I always do, but I always forget to mention it. I will leave my Instagram and my Facebook, so if I do upload photos of like, or videos of this working, or kind of anything that I've got in action or on display, you can then see it if you want. So I will leave that down below, and I'll also try and remember to leave it on the screen somewhere. My username on Instagram, I am generally more on Instagram than Facebook. I just find it easier. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.